Vanakkam, Namaskara, Namaste, and hello. You are in the ROSEMILK Podcast with me, Lakshmi, where we talk honest stories which will lead to a thoughtful conversation. Today's episode is for anyone who is going to have a new leap, maybe a new job, a new relationship, or version of yourself, and then you see it fading away, falling apart. So today we are gonna have Colby Wilk, who is the Wayfinder, an intuitive healer who is going to help us maybe not get answers to these questions but make us listen to the whispers inside us, which will in turn get us some answers. So the episode is going to be, if life does not go the way you planned, is it saying something to you? Is it a detour or a call to your intuition? So I would like to welcome our guest today, Mr. Colby Wilk. Thank you so much for doing this. I know it's pretty early for you there, but I'm really happy that you're here.
God bless you. God bless you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for doing this. So do you want to give a brief introduction to yourself to my audiences?
Sure. As you said, I work as an intuitive guide. I call myself a wayfinder because I help people find their way to what they want, who they want to be, and to the life they want to have. And I do that by using my intuitive gift to spot what's in someone's way that they've been stepping over. They're not aware, and they've tried, and yet things are not changing. So I use my gift to help them spot and heal what that is, and to help them bring them into greater well-being. And that equates to having what you want and being who you want.
Yeah, I think that's a very unique, I would not say gift, but a unique ability of you to, get that intuition of somebody that you meet, have a conversation with, find them their path. So it's a very beautiful ability that you have.
Bless you. Well, I look at people and then I see stuff in their energy, as well as like somebody will come and say, hey, I'd like to be married, but I'm not. I'd like to start my own business, but I can't. And then I get a hit. What's at the root of it, and then drawing their attention to that sometimes equates to change.
Wow.
No, it's not that hard. It's not hard. It's just I'm really good at listening. That's it. I'm just a really good listener, and I listen with my whole body and my whole beingness, and then I just share what I get. Now the problem becomes change requires people to change. And who wants to change? I don't want to change. I want things around me to change. I want you to change. I don't want to change. That's just a natural inclination. And so when I'm working with people to help them get the life that they want, become who they want, have what they want, a lot of times it's sharing the truth that they have avoided, that they don't want to know from. But the truth will set you free, as they say, but it'll piss you off first. I'll give you an example. I was working with a woman who really wanted to be married, and she was in her late 30s. Lovely woman. So when I looked, my beings told me she doesn't want to be married. She doesn't want to be in love. She wants to be validated. So I report this back to her. Look, you don't want to be in love. You want to be validated because you have a husband. Initially, she said, how dare you? And then after a moment, she started to weep. And said she really just wanted to prove to her father that she was normal because she would bring home a man. So instead of taking her down the route of like what's with her not attracting, the issue has to do with validation. And so then I could work with her on helping her to learn how to self-validate. And that may generate a husband coming her way, may not. But at the end of the day, she'll be better off. Our souls want us to evolve in a very particular way. My gift is being able to sense what your soul is inviting you to do and help you to sense it as well. Because if we know what our soul, the larger, wiser part of us, wants, then we could go and get it, and life becomes a lot easier.
Yeah. So from the example that you just mentioned, so you said from my being, I understood that she just wanted to be validated. What is that art? Like the way she speaks, or her body language? What is that? How did you find out?
I have an intuitive gift. Gift, curse. Goes either way depending on how you work with it. Because I'm very sensitive, right? I'm sensitive to environments, food, allergens. I'm sensitive. So when I'm with somebody, when people are talking, or I usually get like pop-up images in my brain. And then I share what I got. So I'll say, a lot of times, I see a tiger, and tigers mean emotion, being equipped to handle your emotions to me. That's what tiger means to me. I had a tiger teddy bear when I was little, and I really miss my mother. that reminds me of that. So I'll get images and then I share the image, and then it's up to me and the client to interpret what that image means. My images are always correct because they're given, but my interpretation can be off. So to answer your question, I see things in my head, or I feel something, or I know something. We've all had those moments. I've just done this a long time that I recognize what I'm getting. All of us are intuitive, but not everyone knows how to listen to their intuition, right? So, for instance, I was at a Qigong class a couple months ago, and I had a sense not to go. I'm like, I don't want to go. I don't know. It was a little funky, and I felt bad from all the Qigong for whatever reason. And I told the teacher, look, I'm going to stop. And he pushed me to do more. I'm like, no, I think I should stop. He's like, no, do more. And then later that day, I got into an accident, a car accident. Nothing terrible. And I'm like, wow, look, I was sacrificing what I knew because he's an authority. And I knew better, but I chose not to listen. And the consequences of not listening to my intuition, I really wasn't focused when driving because I didn't feel well. And I had an instinct to not continue, but I chose to not listen. We all have intuition, but most of us don't listen.
Right. Okay, so you visualize things. You get pictures and then interpret.
Yeah, not visualize, because to me, visualization is making an image up. Like, okay, I'm going to see you Christmas again, but I get a sense of what's up with them. So what I have is kind of primitive. If you've ever been around a wild animal, like a fox or a squirrel, they're engaged with their instinct. Instinct, intuition are the same thing. What I have is pretty primitive. It's not developed. It's who we are at our basis. Because to survive, early man, early woman, whatever, we needed more than just logic. So I'm kind of a throwback to a former time. People like to think intuition is like, oh, we're ahead of the game. No, we're ancient. This is an ancient skill. And before medicine and other inventions, this is what we were left with. Acupuncture, all that Reiki, a lot of Eastern medicine relied on people's intuition to make a modality.
Right.
There's nothing airy-fairy about what I do. It's just settling in, getting really quiet, sensing.
Wow. This skill that you have not thrown away, because we all have, I think, somewhere it's hidden inside us and we don't give much time.
Right, so going back to that young lady who wanted to be married, knowing that she wants to be validated, then one, I know what to do with her, and two, she knows what to do now. She knows to take her attention off of trying to find a man and be aware, look, I'm looking outside of myself because I want him to see me and think I'm cute or whatever. Let me see if I can validate myself now. Yeah, it's a compass. Logic is a crappy compass. Intuition is where it's at. And it's not hidden. It is hidden, but it's there. It's just putting our attention on it. Now, I train people to be intuitive because for me, I don't know how people get by without it. So for me, if I want to see a practitioner, I will use my intuition. A supplement, I will use my intuition. A vacation, where to go. A job, where to live. So can I demonstrate something? Has a field of energy. I have a field of energy. Generally being around me. By bringing my attention into my body, and we can do this now. Now feel your body from your belly in the middle of you. Now hold whatever you're holding out in front of you and bringing it in towards you. Does what you're bringing in stay in your body? Do not go out to the object. That's what's really critical here. Bring the object into your body, towards your body while you stay in your belly. See if that feels good. Now, here's the truth. If something does not feel good, it won't blend with your energy. You'll get a pushback. Your body will push it out. So this is really handy with knowing what to eat, what supplement to take, what prescription, what book to read. Now, people may say, oh, Colby, I don't feel anything. You're not practiced yet. Everything can be developed. What I have, I developed. Yeah, sure, I was born kind of sensitive, but the rest I developed because I sat at the feet of many, many people, gurus, shamans, healers, and learned. You could learn this. Most people are not so great about feeling. They're in their head trying to make sense. You can't make sense of life. Life doesn't make sense. If life made sense, it would be fair. Life is not fair because we don't understand life. Life is a great mystery. We don't exactly understand how it works. Sure, there's the laws of attraction, there's karma, there's some scars. Sure, we know a little bit, about how life works, but we don't know how it all works. Therefore, it is the mystery. The more you practice listening to your intuition, the more you're going to hear it.
Wow, nice. I have a question here. We always, whenever it's instinct and intuition, we always talk about the gut. Why is that?
You have 3 major brains: head, heart, gut.
Gut, yeah.
Now, depending on who I'm working with, I will bring my attention to different places. You tend to keep your attention in the front of your brain, your cerebellum. That's how most people keep their attention, because our culture rewards thinking, achievement, and we think we're this. But what I have found is, if you bring so much attention here and you're a spiritual seeker, eventually you're going to wipe yourself out and suffer from burnout, because this is not meant to carry that much energy. This has a purpose, right? Thinking, decision making, concrete thinking, abstract. Great, but this is not where it's at. In the middle of your brain, that is where you go if you want to be super psychic. In the middle. You bring your attention into the middle of your brain, between your ears and between the front and back of your head. The back of your brain, where your head meets your neck, that are your ancestors have a contact with you. That's where ancestral information lives. Chest opening. Front of your chest is where you give love, and the back is where you receive from. So if I have somebody who's having a lot of problems with manifestation, receiving, I have them put their attention in the back of their heart. Your gut is where your instinct lives. And that's why I start with bringing your attention into your belly. And it's also the center of you. And so your body likes that you're putting its attention in you. You're putting your attention in it, and it calms down the nervous system, calms your immune system down, calms you down.
Wow, nice. I didn't know about that, but yeah.
There's a lot to know, and the truth is I prefer for my clients to sense what's true for them, as opposed to telling them what I get, because I'm helping people to develop themselves. I don't help people walk my path. I help people walk their own path. You have a soul. It has a path for you. Let's go find that path. Let's stop resisting it.
Nice. Wonderful. Okay, that was a bit of an introduction of what you do. I think now people can understand what we are getting into. So as I said, the first segment would be when everything goes blank. What actually happens in that energy that you said when everything goes blank for a person with respect to job or a marriage or whatever? Something is not going right. What happens beneath it or around it? What is that actually in that time?
What I believe, let me start with this. Whoever argues with life loses. Something happened. Your boyfriend broke up with you. You lost your job. The bank took your house. The longer you make that wrong, and the longer you make that should not have happened, the more you are going to suffer. Now, if you're crying over your boyfriend or your girlfriend or whatever, there's a place for that. There's a place for that emotional expression. I'm not asking you to bypass your loss, your grief. But there's a period where you allow yourself to grieve, and there's a period where you stop indulging that and say, okay, enough. There's nothing wrong going on here. Now, in my experience, our soul, the larger, wiser part of us, is not trying to puppet us from the ethereal. It is trying to help us get what we want, but what I really want. Now, your soul is trying to get you there quickly, but usually doesn't work for humans. So it takes you on this kind of seemingly random stepstone path without clear delineation. How many times have all of us wanted something, didn't get it, and then years later said, thank God that didn't happen? What's happening is for your best interest. Now, I've gone periods being very ill, very poor. Let me take a deep breath and try to re-enter a calmer vibration. Because from a place of, nothing positive can come your way. Because you're out of alignment with the vibration you're trying to attract. So consider that consciousness is an ocean. You've heard that before. Well, as a metaphor. In the ocean, there are tides. And if you ever swam in the ocean, your mom or whoever would say, don't get caught in the riptide, right? Something that takes you out. And a lot of times, that is what's happening when something you wanted goes bye-bye. Your boyfriend breaks up with you. You lose your home. Your health goes to crap. You've gotten taken by a tide, and you're being pulled out into the ocean. Why? Because in the depths of the ocean, you can know yourself. If you're towards the edge of the ocean, swimming around, playing with beach balls, hanging out with your friends, drinking, you're not going to get to know yourself as well. That's what those periods are like. That's what those periods are for. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And the more you fight it, the more you make it wrong, the longer the tide takes you. When you're caught in a riptide, they'll tell you, don't try to swim against it. You're going to wipe yourself out. Don't make it wrong. Tread water. Relax. Keep yourself afloat. But the key is to not get attached to plan A. When you thought you wanted, plan B, plan C, plan D is coming. Stop fighting.
That is very difficult to achieve when you're in that state of mind, but it comes with the practice, right? More and more you're in that situation, you know how to come out of it.
Yeah, you just accept that this is what's happening. I am now unemployed. I am now single. Okay, this is for my best. Let me find well-being. And people can go to my website. There's a lot of practices that are quick and short that bring people into a deeper state of well-being. We all want to be like this big thought leader, and we want to build our fiefdom, our kingdom on plan A. Most people are on plan N, plan O, right? Because a lot of times we don't even know what we want. Our spirit does. Are you going to let your soul lead? But Colby, I can't feel my soul. I don't know what my soul wants. Calm down, everyone. Bring your attention into your body and breathe. Your soul's voice is not loud. Your soul isn't. It feels like instinct. It feels quiet, subtle. More quiet you get, and if you don't have a practice to get quiet, meditation, dance, laughing, there's all sorts of different ways of getting quiet in here. Find something that works for you.
Okay, nice. Moving on, we will talk about, so what's the difference between intuition and ego? How do a person understand that this is coming from your gut because that's the truth?
Ego, let's define ego. Ego is that which wants to make you feel different. I'm better than everyone, or I'm worse than everyone, or I'm special. I deserve this, it's mine. I should have it.
Right.
Different, special. Now, when people are on their ego, they're trying to prove themselves to others and to themselves, but they can never win because nothing's ever enough. And so ego follows with dissatisfaction. Ego lives on doubt. It eats doubt. That's how it lives. So you want something. Let's say you want to be the biggest podcaster on the planet. And if that's an ego motivation, it's because I'm special. Look at me. And at the same time, look what a piece of crap I am. I'm hiding the piece of crap that I am by being this authority. And I deserve this. Now, ego will live on your doubt. And you wipe yourself out. Your nervous system, you get wizened, you get a little more crazy, you get a little more needy, you get a little more desperate. Ego. Your spirit, your soul, is taking orders from your desire, your true desire. And your soul's like, okay, she wants to be a big podcaster. Is that coming from her soul? That's what your soul will say. Or is that coming from her ego? If it's coming from your ego and you're on a spiritual path, it is not going to happen. Because your soul's going to not let it happen. Because your soul's got another plan and it's going to stop you from doing it. Opportunities will become sparse. You'll have technical issues. Things will just be really hard. It'll be like walking through quicksand. And your soul, you know you're in your soul, calm, and you have a sense of love. You're not trying to win a race. You're not trying to get ahead. You're just being. And we all have moments of that. We just want more of those moments. That's how you know the difference. If you want something, I'm going to say this to your listeners, another tip. You want something. What's something you want?
I want to read more books.
I want to read books. Okay, great. Why do you want that?
Because it would help me learn a lot of things, new things, and I'll be occupied.
And why do you want to be so occupied?
Because I want to keep myself busy all the time. I like it.
Why do you want to be busy all the time?
Because I don't know what else to do when I'm free. I just can't sit simply.
Okay, so you want to read a lot of books because you want to be occupied, because you don't want to be with yourself. That's an ego thing, right? That's ego saying, don't settle in, don't get quiet, because if you get quiet, then that's a threat to me, says the ego. So I'm going to keep you. Now, most people would say, oh, reading a lot of books, that's a good thing. You'll be interesting, you'll be educated, you'll be worldly, you'll be interesting at dinner parties. But the truth is that motivation is not from your soul right now. That motivation is from your ego. Because I imagine your soul is saying, get quiet, let's get to know us. Stop trying to fill your day with so much crap. Come into my embrace. Let's get quiet. Let's stop entertaining everyone and sense what we already know. That's what your soul is saying. And by the way, I offer a free gift called The First Step to Finding Your Way. So for listeners who want the first step to finding your way, this is one of them. It can go a long way because you don't want to set your sights on something, new house, whatever, new job, and it's coming from your ego. Because if it's coming from your ego, it's much more difficult to get. You can get it, but it comes at a price. Okay? So why do you want what you want?
Yeah, those answers are important. Got it. Help people understand whether it's coming from the ego or...
Okay? So you got to discharge the ego's motivation. And then you're free. I'm in the game of inner freedom. That's what external freedom, yes, comes as a result of inner freedom, sometimes in some ways. But I want to be free inside.
Nice. So this is another important question that I wrote down. So are there signs that might tell us that we are forcing something into us that's not meant actually? Can we get to know that?
Yeah, of course. So if you're pursuing, what's something that you pursued that didn't happen?
I wanted to get into medicine.
And it didn't happen?
It didn't happen, yeah.
Do you regret? Do you miss it? Do you want it still?
No, I don't regret. I'm happy where I am now. But it didn't happen. So was it not meant for me?
It's an interesting expression, meant for you. Because within that expression, to me, there's a part of me outside of me trying to puppet me. It's not how it is. It's not like we have a higher self. There's nothing external. There's nothing external trying to make us do things. That's not how it is. What's external is taking orders from us. Our soul takes orders from me. My soul takes orders from me, but only orders that I really, really want, not my egoic orders. Okay, so for instance, people look at me because I'm cute. It's not really what I want. What I really want is to be free of having to get that kind of attention. Our souls want us to evolve in the way that we want to evolve, what we really want. So when something doesn't happen, there could be a lot of reasons why something doesn't happen. And then we look at that. Why is that? What is your resistance? What's that about? But there are many reasons, but the first reason is because it's not in concert with what you really want.
Okay.
Right? So for years, I worked with a woman who wanted a partner, and it wasn't happening. And then finally she doesn't want a partner because her whole childhood was spent dancing around her parents and her siblings. She was constantly negotiating her own space for her parents and her siblings. She was going around them, and she's like, I don't want to have to navigate around anyone. That's why she's not finding a partner. And then the work is, how do I not navigate but just state what I want so that I can have a partner the way I want to have a partner? Make sense?
Yeah, right. Okay, and I think that point brings us to the next segment, which is in between and not lost. So what is this healing process, or how do a person get healed when on these kind of issues that has happened in your past and you are not able to move ahead because either you're scared the same thing will repeat to you, or you just don't want to do it, but you deserve to be happy, right? So how do you...
There's no deserving to be happy. I don't believe that anyone deserves to be happy. That's just not true. There's no deserve. Your experiences are the results of what you want and how attuned you are to that which you desire, okay? Because that's a way of punishing people for not getting what they want. It's a way of explaining why some people get what they want, are wealthy and coupled, and some people are not. There is no deserve. There's only thought form and outcome. That's it. So when people don't, so I see people, right, obviously, and so some people heal faster than others. So I guess the question is why? People heal because they're ready. They're ready to let go. Colby, I'm willing to let go. Are you? Really? Letting go, tough stuff. Because like I said, no one wants to change. So they're ready to let go. They're ready to give up their agenda. They're ready to not be right and not be certain. We all want to know how life works. I'm willing to let something larger navigate through. They're detached. They're clear about what they want. And they're detached from how it shows up and when it shows up. And they know it's going to show up. That combination of three is fertile ground for healing. Fertile. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, because we don't know how things work. Another way of saying it is, everyone's trying to receive. I want to receive wealth. I want to receive love. You can't receive. There's no such thing. Can't receive. Listeners, you can't receive. There's no such thing. Because receiving is grasping. And the universe does not like grasping. Because grasping comes from I don't have. And I got to grasp to get. Because I believe in lack and less. You can't receive, but you can let go. You let go, then something can happen.
Okay.
And a lot of my work is getting somebody prepared to let go.
Wow, that's very deep answer, but that's true.
I think so.
The other question that I wanted to ask in this is, how can you stay open to intuition and your gut in a very uncomfortable situation of your life? Like there's chaos around you and there's so many things happening around you, but you need to be calm, right? Like to listen to what it's saying. So how would anybody do that? I mean, obviously a practitioner it's easier for them, but as a normal person, how is it possible?
So you bring up a very great point. Many people want to develop intuition to get ahead, to know what theirs is to do so that things stack in their favor. And sure, you can use it that way, but that's not what it's meant for. Intuition is a tool, a state of being where you are at your fullness. It's an outcome of being full of self. It's an outcome, okay? I should say it's not a tool. It's an outcome of being you. So you're not trying to be intuitive or trying to be psychic, and you can, and there are consequences to that for sure. You become intuitive by occupying yourself or presence. Intuition is an outcome of presence, being you. So if something's not happening that you want to have happen, you lost your job, bills are piling in, your partner left, I'm freaking out, which is totally understandable. Colby, how do I access my intuition? Get quiet. You have practices, if you're my client, that I've taught you. Write them down. Let's put them on your kitchen counter or your refrigerator, someplace where your mirror in your bathroom, so that in the moment you can do them and bring yourself back to center. From your center, now you can get intuitive guidance.
Okay.
But if you're trying to get intuitive just to get ahead, you can. People teach that. You can do it that way. I can go to Vegas. I can do well in Vegas because I can sense sometimes, but that's not what it's for.
So coming to the last segment, which is rebuilding from scratch, from where we were, like life's not going the way it has to how you stay calm, to how you heal out of it. Now everything is fine. How do you rebuild? If, for example, you have lost a job, okay, how do you now approach people telling, hey, I've been laid off because of so and so reason and whatever, without shame? How do you rebuild? Not just in work life, it's a generic question.
I think what you're asking is, when something has happened in your life that you thought, I don't want this to happen, how do you move from it without shame?
Yeah.
Shame is a result that I'm afraid of what I anticipate other people's judgment of me. And because I don't want to be judged, I anticipate what they judge, and I do not want to be judged by this fictional group that is living in my head, I will now cater to that image. For instance, person is 55, their career dries up, and now they're working at a Walmart or a Trader Joe's or something like that. And there's no shame in that. God bless, right? But this person's like, oh my gosh, I was an executive. If my former clients or coworkers see me working at Trader Joe's stacking, they'll think this about me. And then I got to make a story. Well, it wasn't my fault. I got fired because of this. It was this issue, that issue. And you're just making more shame. You're lowering your vibration. Not going to be helpful at all. So something has happened. You didn't want to happen. You're afraid that other people are going to judge you. Okay. Be aware, I'm afraid that other people are going to judge me. I'm afraid of their judgment, but really I'm using them. I'm judging me. I'm mad at myself for doing or this thing happening. And I love myself, even though the things that make me feel like a success are not present. How do I love myself? Now, if you're in the spiritual game and you're trying to evolve, your spirit will set up situations to devour your ego. That's what it does, because it's trying to help you to love you. And the way to do that is to provide you with opportunities to see where you don't love you. When something has happened and you're going back out into the world, you want to be aware, I'm presently shaming myself. It's showing up as I'm afraid of other people's disapproval, but really it's my own shame that I'm worried about. I'm being mean to myself. How do I move into greater love for me? On my website, I teach a practice where people can open and close their heart. Because normally when you're in shame, your heart is closed. And then when you open your heart, and I teach this, you all of a sudden because when we close our heart, we close to our source. And we close our heart because we're afraid and we want to protect ourselves, right? From other people's, what I imagine are other people's perceived judgment. But really, I'm the one paying the price, and I'm the one making up this scenario. It may be an accurate scenario. Other people may be judging me. But that's not important. What's important is I imagine them judging me. And so really, I'm judging myself. How do I open my heart to myself? Like I said, practices on the website to help people with that.
Nice. Yeah. So I think once we realign to this, like, we are listening to it and just being ourselves, what shifts can we see in our life?
I know there are a lot of people who will say, hey, when you start loving yourself and raising your vibration, positive circumstances will show up.
Is it so?
I don't know. In my opinion, spirituality is about inner freedom. Me being less at the effect of other people's judgment and my own, and me being able to relinquish false narratives, false stories, and false ideas of the self. I'm only valuable if I'm successful. It helps me. Spirituality is about helping you to release I'm only valuable if. To know that you are truly valuable and truly ordinary simultaneously. That's the purpose of spirituality, because we're trying to, in spirituality, occupy the same space as our divine, which has no ego, right? It just is. We're trying to get to that isness. That's the goal of spirituality. Inner freedom I have, the more my vibration is going to clarify, I'll become my full myself, and situations will be magnetized to me. But the goal is not to magnetize situations. That's chasing. The goal is to be yourself. If we are here for any reason, it is not to build a building, paint a picture, make a piece of art. Our goal of being here is to become who we are, who we really are. And that sometimes is hard work, deeply satisfying, but hard work. So yes, inner freedom can generate some positive outer effects. Houses, boats, jobs, partners. There is a relationship, but it's not the goal. That's materialism. That's what that is. And it works to some extent.
Okay, nice. That's a very deep answer. I think the entire meaning of life in what you just explained at the end. So wonderful, beautiful conversation. I think most of the time I was just listening with a wow expression inside me, because there were so many answers that you said made more sense, because it's always nice to listen from somebody else, right? The truth. You know it, but you never want to listen to it. So a person like you speaks that, it feels right.
And that's your intuition right there. That felt right to me. I'm just interpreting what I'm getting, right? Like what I know, what I've gotten, what my experiences is. But it's up to each of us. Okay, that feels right to me. Like Qigong that day did not feel right to me, and I paid the price.
Nice, wonderful. I think we have had a very nice conversation, and I'm sure our listeners are gonna reach out to you at some point or the other and understand this better. I think the whole gist of what you just said is that you just need to feel right when you're doing something, and you have to accept things. You need to let go of things. You need to not feel ashamed. You just have to be you.
Right, and there are practices that you can do to get yourself there, because not feeling, oh, that's great, Colby, I don't want to feel shame, but go to my website, lots of practices. Reach out to me. Yes, we can do the deep work, but it's also very important what you do moment to moment with your consciousness. That makes a big difference.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for doing this, and I think until we meet next time, just be this kind, nice, sweet person that you are.
Back at you.
Nice. Thank you so much.